Okay, next one. So Jesus, the enlightenment. I think we have to start realizing and think, like everything changes. The truth that makes us free is that we're not individual. We play it and we act like it, and personality-wise, and all those things in the world kind of indicate that we are, but we aren't. We're not. I mean, if you start to see from what I was going to say earlier, if you start to see from the part of you, the I am, the presence, that sense of I am. Once you're in that space, you see it real clearly because it is not a personal space. It is a point. It is a point of awareness, and it's hard. It's like form starts to shed itself when you're aware because it has no meaning. Presence transcends form. It's the ground floor for everything. So when one's present, though, and you start to see from that place of I am, you start to get a sense and a realization that however it works, and I'm not going to try and look at it in the world like how it comes together as individual consciousness. All I can do is come back to where I am and say, okay, I am one. And I'm realizing that all my life, I have really, struggled hard to let go of major things in my life that I thought for the personality things that were in the way, like the fear of depression, the attachment to relationship and communication being on a certain experience, sense of place, that I have a sense of place in this world, and then most recently I've been working with really like getting down to it, which is a sense of self. That whole idea that I think I have to have a sense of self that's about something in the world, doing something, and that there actually is like a self, me. All those things, all those experiences, what I've noticed, I haven't come through to, like in time and space, I haven't come through the self, loss of self, although I'm well into it. And it's all familiar ground though, because it all starts out with a great sense of loss, that I can't do one of the others, like I can't fight depression anymore. I can't fight relationship anymore. I can't try to make it into something anymore. At some point realizing that I can't do anything really about it, that I've been deceiving myself to think that I'm actually making changes to get it more like what I want, and that I even actually believe that if it got to more like what I want, it would actually fulfill me. It'd make me feel better. Because I don't know that that's true either. That's a pipe dream as well. Because I've already proven that's not necessarily true at all. And but each time I'm working on those things, so I go through this like sense of loss, because as it moves on, what happens is I start losing all sense of juice and desire and vision for it. Like say for the house, or the house, but sense of place. I started to lose that I just, I couldn't find a place. The thought of renting a place or building buying a place or parking in a certain place had no meaning. It's like I couldn't see how that would fulfill me, that would quiet the noise in my head to say, okay, now I have a sense of place, so it won't be so noisy in there. No, it's noisy there. Any rate, each of those experiences, though, I went through kind of what I call dark night of the soul experiences, where I had to, kind of like an alcoholic collapsing from drinking. Eventually, you can't reason your way out of it. You eventually have to crash on the rocks and say, whatever this is, it's not working anymore. It's not working anymore. And all those places, when they got to the point where they say they're not working anymore, then all of a sudden there's this freedom, because it's like you're not trapped by it anymore. It's like the belief structure has changed. But it's all this drama. This is interesting, I'm trying to say. A lot of drama, like on depression. I was in Alaska, and it took 2 years for me to come through that. For 2 years, I was suffering almost 24/7, 365, because I was just trying to break through that place of, I guess, eventually to collapse and let go, like what Eckhart Tolle described in his book. Or he didn't describe it too much, but he said he came to a place of collapse. He didn't really describe it that much, that journey of it, which if I saw him, I'd probably ask him about to describe that a little more for me, just because I'd like to know. At any rate, But the realization from that came to me, has been coming to me, that because I've seen this too. I've had experiences where I have learned, broken through things with groups. Scott Peck's community building group, without me spending a lot of, maybe in one of these videos I'll talk more about that. But that happened with a group. And what I found out was it was far more simple, far less painful, far less confined to space and time. It happened very, relatively, it still happened in time. It took its grunting, and its own group, it went into a group collapse. But it was so much simpler and so much richer and so much fuller, breaking through that with others together. Plus, there was all this love unleashed in the process of wanting to be together. Okay, this ended this one, so I'm going to do another one, folks.